Hello everyone, this is the English Submarine, and for today's lesson we are going to see the last details we have to know about the present continuous and the present simple. So for a start, I have a challenge for you. Let's take a look at some sentences and you are going to tell me which is incorrect, okay? Here we have three sentences. And all three of them, we have the verb to know as the main verb. So which of these sentences is incorrect? First sentence, I know Mia very well. Second sentence, I am knowing Peter and I am liking him. Third sentence, I knew she was right. So if you analyze the verbs of these sentences, we can say that the first sentence, I know, is the present simple. The second, I am knowing, I am liking, would be the present continuous. And the third one, I knew she was right, would be the simple past, which we are going to study in the next lesson, on the next unit, okay? So, you have now 15 seconds to think which is the correct sentence. So, we know that the first sentence is right. I know Mia very well. We are friends, and I know her very well. I know the characteristics of her personality. We are very good friends. And also, the third sentence is right. I knew she was right. I knew it was right. I knew the sentence was right. So, you probably know by now the incorrect sentence is the second one. And why is it incorrect? Because some verbs in English don't accept the continuous form. We don't use ing with these verbs. And this is what we are going to see in the lesson today. All right, so what we have seen so far is that we use for the present simple for routine, facts, personal information, and the present continuous for an action that's taking place right now. It's happening now or around now. But things are not so simple. We also have to pay attention to the verb we have to use in our sentence because in English we have action verbs and we also have stative verbs. What are action verbs? They are actions that express some movement. If you can picture yourself doing the action, this is an action that demands movement. And so we call this verb an action verb, okay? And a stative verb is a verb that you can't quite imagine yourself doing the action. For example, know, to know somebody. How do you imagine yourself doing it? I can't, because to know somebody is not a movement, is not a dynamic verb. If the verb is not dynamic, then we shouldn't use the present continuous or the ing form on this verb. Okay? It's not so complicated. Sometimes, if you have any questions, I'm not certain, is this verb an action verb, a stative verb? Do you have a verb in your mind right now that you're not sure whether it's an action verb or a stative verb? Leave a comment. Let me help you, okay? And together we'll think about it, reflect on it, okay? So now we are going to see many verbs that in English don't accept the ing form, the continuous form. And this is going to be in the unit 4 of our material. Okay, let's go. Here we are, unit 4, present continuous and present simple too. I am doing and I do. Section A. We use continuous forms for actions and happenings that have started but not finished. They are eating, it is raining. So remember, we are in the middle of the action. The action is in development. Some verbs, for example, know and like, the verbs from our sentences in the beginning of the class, are not normally used in this way. We don't say, I am knowing or they are liking. No. We say, I know and they like. For example, the following verbs are not normally used in the present continuous. They are like, want, need, prefer. Know, realize, suppose, mean, understand, believe, remember, belong, fit, contain, consist, and seem. For example, let's read them with me aloud, okay? Let's practice a little. I'm hungry. I want something to eat. Not I'm wanting. I want something to eat right now. I am hungry right now. I'm feeling it right now. But the verb want doesn't take the continuous form. So it doesn't matter if it's right now or not. You will have to use the basic form. I want something to eat. Second example. Do you understand what I mean? The same case here. I'm asking you if you understand right now. I'm saying something to you right now, and I'm asking you if you understand what I mean by what I said. But the verb mean doesn't take the continuous form, so I use the present simple. Anna doesn't seem very happy at the moment. So here in this example, in the very sentence, we have the expression at the moment. We know that it is right now, but the verb seem doesn't take the continuous form. So we use the present simple. These verbs want, mean, and seem. Can you imagine a physical action, a dynamic movement action for them? Probably not, right? This is why we don't use the continuous form for these verbs, all right? In the section B, we are going to see specifically the verb think, because the verb think can have two different meanings. So for each meaning, you're going to use a different form, a basic or a continuous depending on the sentence. When think means believe or have an opinion, we do not use the continuous. For example, I think Mary is Canadian, but I'm not sure. So, not I'm thinking, because I believe that Mary is Canadian. And believe is one of the verbs we have on the table above on section A. So, we cannot use the continuous here. What do you think of my plan? What's your opinion of my plan? What do you believe of my plan? What do you think of my plan? So in this case also, we don't use the continuous. However, when think means consider, when you are considering something, when you are reflecting about something, then the continuous is possible. For example, let's read along. I'm thinking about what happened. I often think about it. I'm thinking right now, and I often think. I often think is the frequency that the action happens, and the action is happening repeatedly. So I often think. Nikki is thinking of giving up her job. She's considering, she's reflecting on the pros and cons of giving up her job. So she is thinking, not she thinks. Okay? Section C. The verbs see, hear, smell, and taste. They are verbs that refer to sensations, right? We normally use the present simple and not continuous with these verbs. For example, do you see that man over there? And not are you saying? We don't say that. This room smells. Let's open a window. Smell, just like see, we don't use the continuous form. We often use though can plus these verbs. I can hear a strange noise. Can you hear it? So, to use the modal verb can with these verbs of sensation is very usual. And so you can use it all the time and don't worry about it, okay? But not the continuous. The verbs look and feel, they both accept both verb tenses. You can use the present simple or continuous to say how somebody looks or feels now. You look well today, or you're looking well today. How do you feel now? Or how are you feeling now? Both forms are okay. Both forms are correct. But I usually feel tired in the morning. If I say I usually feel tired in the morning, it's my routine. It's an action that happens repeatedly every morning, so I don't use the present continuous here. Okay? Finally, in the section E, we have the explanation about using the verb to be in the continuous form. You all know by now that the verb to be is a very special verb, and it has very special characteristics, as this one we are going to see right now. There is a difference between he is selfish and he is being selfish. When you say somebody is being something, it means that this person is behaving in a certain way. The person is acting in a certain way right now. That's different from the usual way this person acts. For example, let's read with me. I can't understand why he's being so selfish. He isn't usually like that. So usually, he's a very nice person. But right now, he is being selfish. He is behaving selfishly at the moment. Alright? Second example. He never thinks about other people. He is very selfish. And not his being. In the second example, it's a characteristic, it's a trait of the person's personality. He is selfish generally and not only at the moment. We use am is are, being, to say how somebody is behaving. Only this situation. It's not usually possible in other sentences. For example, it's hot today. It's just a fact. I'm talking about the temperature. I'm talking about the weather. I'm not talking about anybody's behavior, so I don't say it is being hot. Sarah is very tired. Tired is how she feels and not how she behaves. So we say Sarah is very tired and not Sarah is being very tired. All right? We have just concluded one more class in our course, and I'm very happy to have you here with me for all these times, all these classes. And keep tuned in because a lot more is to come. So now, if you have the material, do the activities and leave a comment if you have a question. If you don't have the material, check the description of the video and you can have a link for where to buy it, okay? So thank you so much for your company and see you next class. Bye bye.